Yes, sir. We in effect on a Sunday night, coming to you live and direct. Chill Town in effect. We here on a Sunday night. What are we doing tonight? Well, we talking basketball. That's what we doing tonight. Where's my remote? Did I leave it? Nope, I got it right here. Got it right here. What's going on tonight, guys? 89. Why am I an L host? Why am I an L host? Can you tell everybody here why I'm an L host? What up, Lewis? How you doing, brother? I'm running good. How you doing? Tyler, what's up, brother? Everything good? What up, Henry? How you doing, brother? Alicia, what's up? Not much. Here to talk some free agency. Here to talk some basketball. Just here to talk about what's going on in the league tonight, man. And a lot of these guys that I'm seeing, right? So a lot of these guys that I'm seeing, I like which way the movement went. I do. I do like which way the movement went. Yes, I do. And I like the fact that the Lakers ran it back. So I think that's dope. Happy birthday, Tyler. No doubt. I like the fact that the Lakers ran it back. Oz, can you tell everybody here? Because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be more interactive tonight, right? I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm going to let the chat do it. Oz, tell everybody here why Dame has all the leverage. Tell everybody here why Dame Lillard can dictate where he can go. Oz G, the floor is yours, brother. You tell everybody here why Dame Lillard has all the leverage. I'm all ears to hear this. How was it being on FPF channel? Respect to you pulling up. It was good. It was good. It was good. It's dope to it's dope to get with other. It's dope to get with other creators, and you know they challenge your skill set. They do. They challenge it. They challenge my skill set. They challenge my thinking, which is dope, and they enhance my ability. So, and I always like to get on and talk basketball with people who know what they're talking about. So the idea that Damian Lillard is a superstar, that doesn't mean anything. I want to make sure that we clear on that, guys. That does not mean anything. The fact that he's a superstar, you guys get confused. You guys get confused with the logic that a guy, because he is a superstar and he demands to be traded, he gets to dictate wherever he wants to go. That's not the case, man. That is just not true. There is nothing about that. There's nothing about that that's true. So let's see here. He is the best Blazer of all times, and the fans will go nuts, which they'll get over that if they treat him wrong. If he really wants to go, he can't hold out. He can't hold out and not play, so his value would go down, like Simmons. So let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Brook did not go to the Rockets. He ended up signing with Milwaukee. So I want to make sure I'm understanding your point, my man. He's the best Blazer of all time. The fans would go nuts if they treat him wrong. If he really wants to go, he can't hold out and not play, so his value would go down. He can hold out. No, he would not. So first and foremost, let me make sure I'm understanding you. If he really wanted to, he could hold out. Well, first of all, he's got a no trade clause in his contract. So if he decided to hold out, now let's just say for the sake of argument, he decided to hold out. He doesn't have to play. We going off of what they saw last year. So there aren't any injuries. So he would be prepared to go. With that also being said, he would just get moved wherever Portland moved him to. And then that would be the other team's problem. That wouldn't be Portland's problem. He wouldn't be able to say, if he got moved to Atlanta, yo, I ain't going to Atlanta. That's an Atlanta problem now. That's not our problem. Now, I don't think that Portland would do that. I don't think Portland would do that. Portland is going to make sure that wherever they trade him to, it works for them. Dame doesn't get to dictate where he wants to go. If Dame says, Miami is my preferred destination, well, there's a lot of things that I would prefer. But if the Miami Heat doesn't work out, right? If the Miami Heat doesn't work out, I'm opening up the phone lines to whoever gives me the best deal. They're not just going to ship Dame off to they're not just going to ship Dame off to Minnesota, New Orleans, even though I like him in New Orleans back with CJ. And if they could hold on to Brandon Ingram, I love that. And Herb Jones, I actually love him in New Orleans. But they're not going to ship him somewhere where it's not beneficial to them and him. But that doesn't mean that he's got leverage. And the reason why he doesn't have leverage is because he's opted in to his player option in 24-25, which means that when he signed that extension, he's on the books for 4 more years. So in the end, he's got to go where they send him. The logic that the Portland Trail Blazers, the fans would be in an uproar by the way that they treated him, they would get over that. They would get over that considering how they're building that unit. There's no way that the fans would continuously be like, the hell with the Trailblazers. See how they treated Damian Lillard? Let the Trailblazers start winning in 2 or 3 years. They will get over that. That would not be something that they would that they would stick on, that they would stick to. They would immediately get over that. So I'm not buying that logic at all. No way. So what I want to do is I want to take teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, take them off the table. The reason why I take them off the table is because there's a reason why they re-upped Middleton. There's a reason why Brook Lopez signed back with the Crew. The reason why these dudes signed back with the Crew is because they're running it back. They feel like they're a championship caliber team. They're not moving off of Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. Number one, that weakens them defensively. They don't need more buckets. They got to do it on their crew averaging 31 a game. They got to do it on their crew averaging 31 a game. Their point guard averages 19 a game. They got the best rotation player in the game, arguably. They do not need Damian Lillard. They do not. You just want to see Damian Lillard in Milwaukee because it's some 2K logic and it looks good. That's why you want to see him there. Not because that actually strengthens their unit. That's not why you want to see him there. You want to see him there because it looks good in video games. And that's just terrible logic, man. It just is. I hate Damian Lillard in Philadelphia also. And you know why I hate Damian Lillard in Philadelphia? I hate Damian Lillard in Philadelphia simply because the reason why I don't like Damian Lillard in Philadelphia, simply because now what this is turning into a guy who, well, he's the savior. What about the league MVP that you have? What about the 20-10 guy that you had last year? Right? What about Maxey, who was almost, I think Maxey was almost 20 a game, right? I think Maxey was almost 20 a game last year. Maxey doing what Maxey did. Tobias Harris averaging, I think, 17 a game as your third or fourth best player. How about we get our league MVP, our 33-11 big man to play better? How about that? Just like Miami got Bam to play better. Instead of, yo, go get Dame. How about you got the pieces right here? You had a 20-10 guy last year, led the league in assists. You actually got him to play the entire season with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid wins the league MVP, 33-11. But now what you want to do is you want to add another 30-point-a-game scorer. The hell we doing that for? Why don't you hold these guys who are on the unit? Why don't you hold these great players accountable? You had a 20-10 guy on the crew. You had Joel Embiid, who was the league MVP. Why the hell do we need Damian Lillard? You need to play better. This ain't good enough. This ain't good enough. I don't understand why a guy like Damian Lillard needs to get on our crew. I don't think that there's any reason for him to get on the crew. We already got what we need. We do. We got the league MVP. We had the assist leader on our team last year, 20-10. We had all of that stuff. So because we had all of that stuff, why do we need anything else? We don't. We don't need anything else. We got one of the best rotation players in the game. We got one of the best wings in the game. There's no reason for us to have to add Damian Lillard. No reason. No reason. So, what up, C-Dub? What's going on with you? I I have such a difficult time with the bomb squad logic, right? I really do, man. I have a difficult time with that simply because I'm looking at a guy like Damian Lillard, and he's going into year 12. And in year 12, let's see, I want to make sure that I get this right. That's the same, just so you guys know, he's in the same year. I'm sorry, a year later, a year sooner, but the same age as Shaq was when Shaq got traded to Miami. He's in the same year that Kevin Garnett was in, and he's the same age that Kevin Garnett was when he got traded to Boston. The same age. And he gave that franchise everything that he possibly could give them. Everything he could possibly give them, he gave it to him. And it wasn't enough. So because it wasn't enough, that doesn't mean that Damian Lillard is not a great player. He's a great player, great talent. I have a difficult time with the logic that, Damian Lillard is the best Portland Trailblazer of all time. I think that honor goes to Clyde Drexler, but that's just me. I'm a little bit different in that, but I will tell you this: he's definitely getting his jersey retired. He's definitely an all-time great with the Portland Trailblazers. I just don't think he's the best player the Portland Trailblazers have ever had. Now, the question that needs to be answered is, the Miami Heat have said that they're not coming off Bam, and they're not really feeling coming off of Caleb Martin, which means to me, right? What that says to me is, are you dudes really serious? I just want to make sure that the Miami Heat are serious about acquiring Damian Lillard, because the pieces that they have, I'm not sure that that's enough to get Damian Lillard. I'm having a difficult time that the Trailblazers. I'm having a difficult time with the logic that Damian Lillard or the Portland Trailblazers would accept Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson for Damian Lillard. Man, I'm having a really difficult time with that. Andrew, you about to get booted out of my live. I promise you. I don't like you anyway. I want to make sure we clear on that. I don't really dig you as it is because of how fuddy-duddy you are. But now you in here with the complete and utter disrespect, and you about to get booted out of my live. That's what's about to happen. But as I was saying, I'm having a difficult time with the logic that the Portland Trailblazers would accept Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and a bunch of ones. I did see a really interesting trade, and I'm not sure how you feel about this. How you feel about Colin Sexton, Kelly O, THT, 6 ones and 2 pick in 2 swaps for Dame? How you feel about that? How's that grab you? I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I can't say with 100% certainty that I hate it. I don't hate it. I don't. I'm not saying that I would do it, but I don't hate it. I'm not sure that I'm feeling Utah giving up. I'm not sure I'm feeling Utah giving up all of those picks, because they still got their picks from Minnesota. They still got their picks from Cleveland. So I don't know if I hate it. I'm not sure if I hate it. And Damian Lillard with Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler, who I think is going to be an elite big, an elite defensive big in the game. I don't hate it. I don't. I do not hate it. So I'm in the process of taking some calls. So what up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Sir, what up?
Hey, how are you, Chill? Big fan. I support you. But I just wanted to say, I seen someone say in the comment section that Dame is not really for like the regular season. He would be for the playoffs because Giannis for the past couple years has been like carrying them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your
But
thoughts on that?
well, remember, okay, so we've had some circumstances that have caused the problem. So with Middleton going out, Giannis had to do more that year.
Right,
He had to do way more than he would have had to do if Middleton was healthy. And then this season, I think him getting hurt, I think that threw a monkey wrench in the dynamic of their crew. Don't get me wrong, he did come back and he was good, but I think it
right,
completely threw them off. The Miami Heat were able to get confidence when they started winning, and that just threw off. Because if you remember, Jimmy Butler didn't play like that for the rest of the playoffs.
right, right,
He
right,
played like that against Milwaukee because they got a full head of steam. They got going, and I do think that was a bad matchup for them. Now, I will say this, right? I will say this. I will say that with Giannis, with Drew, I would like to see these guys healthy. And if they don't defend it, or if they're not back in the NBA Finals, then I'm down to move. I'm down to move some pieces. But I saw this crew healthy with Drew Holiday, with Middleton, with Giannis, with Brook Lopez. I saw this crew healthy. They had the best record in the NBA. If we could get that going into the playoffs, I think that they're the champs. I do.
Yeah, me too, me too. I
Yep.
just have one more question, and I'm gonna leave.
Yep.
I hear some people saying that the Bucks window is closing in terms
It is.
of getting another championship. It's
Mhm.
closing. So, what are your thoughts on that?
That's exactly what I mean when I say that I would like to see them healthy this season because I mean Drew Holiday is I think he's 34, 33, 34. He's getting older. Brook Lopez is 35, so he'll be 36. So these guys got some years on them. So because they got some years on them, this thing has to move. So this year coming up, the 23-24 season is a watershed year. They got to win it. Because after
Right.
this year, there's going to be some significant changes with that crew. I don't know if you're going to see Drew Holiday after next season if they don't win it. Even if they do win it, I'm not sure. But if they do win it, you have to consider bringing a unit back again. But you got to make some significant upgrades too because these dudes are getting older.
Right, definitely. All right, thank
Yep.
you, OG. God
All
bless.
right, brother. Good to talk to you. What up? What up? Mm-hmm. What up? Lost him. Mm-hmm. Lost him. What makes me think what? What makes me think what, BG? Be the G? I didn't say Giannis. Well, first of all, Big Don Rich. Why does Embiid get? Why does Giannis get the injury excuse? Because his team won the NBA championship. He hyperextended his knee in the playoffs in 21, came back and won the NBA championship. Joel Embiid, on the other hand, has underperformed in the playoffs. That's why. Those two dudes are not the same. I was able to get it done. You didn't. That's why. That's exactly why. When am I going to stop making excuses for Giannis? I'm not making excuses for Giannis. Understand the difference. Understand the difference between an excuse and a reason. So, like, if you keep saying the same thing over and over again, like that starts to get corny, right? But if there's a circumstance where, like, this is legit, this is actually what happened, right? Then that's not an excuse. That's a reason, and it's legit logic. I could get with that. I could definitely get with that. Definitely. What up, Chill? I appreciate you, brother. You the best start bench cut. Prime Drex, Alex English, Adrian Dantley, James Worthy, Paul Pierce. Hmm. So of these five guys, I'm starting Drex. I'm a bench James Worthy. Alex English was fucking awesome. I'm benching James Worthy. And I'm cutting Adrian Dantley. I'm cutting Alex English. And I'm cutting Paul Pierce. And the reason why I'm doing that, I think Drex was the best of all of these guys. Number one. Number two, James Worthy, he didn't get the name Big Game James for nothing. James Worthy showed up in big games, and he consistently showed up in big games. So because of that, right? Because he was able to show up in big games like he did, I can't say that James Worthy is not on this list. And I'm cutting Alex English first over Adrian Dantley, even though Adrian Dantley got a 6-year stretch where he averaged 30 a game. I mean, Alex English did lead the entire decade in scoring. He could give it to you however you wanted it. So with that being said, I'm starting Drex. I'm benching James Worthy, cutting Alex English, cutting Adrian Dantley, cutting Paul Pierce. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Yarrow.
How's everything?
What's up, brother?
Man, I'm just kind of confused about my team with the Knicks because we signed Vachenko, but I wanted to really ask you about all the trades that the Suns have made. I think that they're kind of handicapping the league because now with all these 1-year, 2-year contracts minimum and everything, everybody's just going to try to go ahead and win like like Denver last year. So I just think that what they're doing isn't just bad for them, but they're also bad for the league. I just wanted to know what you thought.
Well, let's get back to your Knicks, for example, for a minute. I really like the DiVincenzo. I actually like that, and the reason why I like that is because that gives you another rotation guard, right? That gives you because
got like 8 of them.
Well, I'll tell you right now, DiVincenzo, that's Grimes' minutes because I think he moves Grimes out, and because Grimes has been injured, so I think he's going to push Grimes for his minutes. I think Josh Hart is the best rebounding guard in the league, and he gives you some of the most significant minutes. So I don't mind that. Now, Quigley, on the other hand, we got to figure out what we're doing with him because he's one of the better rotation guards. Moving on from Obi Toppin, I'm so straight with that. And the reason why I'm so straight with that is because he just didn't fit what you guys were doing. I said this to you before. I don't really think he's that smart, to be honest with you.
But we signed his brother. Like, what are we thinking? We signed his brother the same size, the same height, and it's just like, why didn't the parents say something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Like this is a bad matchup. Now, as far as Phoenix goes, I understand the logic, right? The logic is that we're trying to win right now. So this is a project that is a 1-2 year project at best. Because remember, KD's gonna be 35 on opening night. How many more years you think KD got at this level?
At least one. Because if he's healthy this whole season, that's it. I don't think he got another one in him.
I'm not going past 2. That's as far as I'm going. Exactly. 2 years. And I know for a fact, considering what I've seen over the last 4 years, he's gonna break down. So what I got to do is get a bunch of vet minimums in here, a bunch of guys, bunch of dirty work guys on the cheap, because we already over the cap. Just with these 4 dudes alone, like we have 160, 161 just with them 4 dudes. So that puts us $30 million over the cap. Now, then you add other contracts like Cameron Payne and guys like that. How much further are we going to be over the cap? So we got to get as many minimum contracts as we can possibly get. So guys like Watanabe, who I love, by the way, I think he's a great rotation player, and I think that they stole him. I still think that they need to shore up their point guard spot. I still think that point guard spot is going to be a problem. And the reason why is because you're not going to be able to just outscore everybody. The game's going to slow down. There's going to be teams that are going to force you to play slower. And who are you going to get? Who is the guy with the ball in his hands that's going to get you guys composed? That's going to get you guys in your offense? Who is that guy? That's the $1 million question. So
I honestly think that they're just going to try to run Booker mostly as a secondary point guard. Like have some, like a young guy come up for a couple of minutes and then let Booker run it and then have the bigs just run the whole thing. To be honest, the Suns, to me, they have no point guard, no backup point guard. And I think they're trying to just run it fast and loose because with all these signings that they got, they signed a lot of shooters, and it looks like Ayton's gonna be on the boards only, like on some Mitchell stuff where he's just doing
Which I
putbacks.
love that. I love that, yo.
That's what I'm saying. They
I
look
love that.
scary.
I
Yeah,
do.
it
I
looks
like
really,
that.
really scary.
So
But
they got a real opportunity to win it this year. Phoenix does.
The Lakers did a really good job getting Prince. I'm so mad. I wanted the Knicks to get him, but they got him at like I think $4 million, and he was asking for $8 million. Like
I
that,
don't know if I love Prince though. To be honest with you, man, I'm not. Is he better than Lonnie Walker?
I think they're on the same tier. It's just two different styles. It's like, let's just say one's left-handed, the other one's right-handed. To me, that's how I look at it. Like they're really, really good. They both play really well on the boards, and they also, to me, I like how they play because they just fit to help you out. They're not there to like, make you better or anything like that. It's like to me, it's like another Josh Hart, but just bigger and stronger in my eyes.
Maybe he might. Maybe he's a better fit than I'm thinking about. Maybe he's just a better fit. I like what Phoenix is doing and the way they constructed. To be honest with you, though, Cowboy, I'm not sure that they better than the Lakers. I can't say.
It's not even that. The Lakers did good, and then Denver is still coming back off of a championship. You got to find a way to stop Jokic. There's no way to stop Jokic unless you foul him, because that's get him into foul trouble, running both ends of the court. Like I keep telling everybody, and they keep laughing. I'm like, if you look at how Rui was doing him, Rui played a little bit of defense, let him get his shots off, but then on offense, he's running down the court, running all over the place, getting quick to the basket, getting those fouls. That's the only way you can slow or even stop Jokic, because anything else, you just gonna give him what he wants. You try to do too much pressure, pass is going already down the court. You try to contest a shot, he's too tall. You can't mess with that. So pretty much, all right, man, I'm gonna let somebody else hop on. Thank you, man.
You know where to find me at, brother. What up?
OG,
what up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What up?
Yo, I wanted to ask you two questions. My first question is that what do you think about Dame in Boston? Because I read online that apparently Boston is gonna offer up Pritchard, Williams, Brogdon, and 3 first-round picks for Dame. So I wanted to get your thoughts on Dame in Boston.
Long as I don't have to break up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I don't hate it. I think that we good with what we already have. I don't think that they need another scorer like that, like Damian Lillard. But if I got to break up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, definitely not. No.
Right. Because I was thinking about those 3 first-round picks that they could use, that Portland could use, because they are trying to go young and they're trying to create a new thing over there, right? So I was thinking those 3 first-round picks could definitely get Dame over to Boston. And my second question to you is being the best player in the history of your organization, does that make you a top 75 player all time?
No, because
sorry.
Let's see. I'm thinking about the best player in the history of an organization. So let me see.
Reggie Miller. Is Reggie Miller like is he the best pacer?
Because you're the best. Well, it depends on what you did there. If you're the best player in the history of your organization, but I mean, Blake Griffin may be the best player in the history of the Clippers organization. Is Blake Griffin the top 75 player? I don't think so.
Nah, because he never even made it to the finals, right?
Right. I don't think so. He never even made it to the Western Conference Finals. Forget the NBA Finals. He never even made it to they never made it to the Western Conference Championship.
He never got out of the second round, right?
Right. So I mean, is Kemba Walker a top 75 player? I think he's the best player in the history of the Charlotte Hornets organization. I think he's the best player in the history of the organization. Is he a top 75 player? No.
Nah.
It depends on it. One, it depends on the organization, and two, what you did at that organization. I mean, Reggie Miller, that Indiana Pacers team in the 90s, I believe it was from 94, either 93 or 94. They was in the East Finals 5 times in 7 years. This was in his prime and made it to the NBA Finals. I mean, they ended up losing to a better team with the Lakers, but the reason why he wasn't the All-NBA performer that he should have been more often, because he was in an era with Drex and Jordan and Mitch Richmond and Joe Dumars. So he could have been. Could he have been a lot better? I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how much better he could have been considering that era. But he could have. But he definitely could have been better.
Right.
Definitely could have been better.
Right. So the fact that he made it to like an NBA final, for example, unfortunately, he didn't win. But the fact that he did something and he was really impactful for his organization, does that put him on that 75 all-time list? Or you have to just like do something impactful for your organization and in your career. Is that what puts you in the top 75?
You have to. I think it means more if I think for me, I think it means more when you are playing for an organization where you did a lot of stuff, right? It can't just be, I was the best player in the history of my organization. Well, what did you do while you were there? Well, if you're the Clippers and you didn't get out of the first round or the second round of the playoffs, but you scored a bunch of points. If you were if Kevin Garnett would have stayed in Minnesota, is he a top 75 player? Considering he only got out of the first round of the playoffs one time when they was building units like that around him.
Right. So like or somebody like T-Mac, is he a top 75 player even though he never made it to like, I don't know if he made it to a conference final or not.
No.
Or Carmelo, like guys like that
Right.
were really good from a skill set standpoint,
Mhm.
but weren't that impactful in terms of winning. So that, I guess they really aren't a top 75 players, are they?
Right. I think Carmelo Anthony is a top 75 player because, again, we're talking about a guy who was really impactful. And when he left Denver, was he the best player in the history of the organization? I mean, you can make the argument. I don't think he was. I'm not going to say he was head and shoulders better than Alex
When
English,
he
but
left, or right now?
when he left the Denver Nuggets, I'm not saying he was head and shoulders better than Alex English, but I think he was better than Alex English. And with all of the stuff that he did after he left there, again, you have to have done something substantial in order for you to. You have to have just done something substantial in order for you to be in that category. It can't just be, I scored the most points in the history of the New Orleans Pelicans. Nah, that's not enough.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Chill.
Yes, sir. I gotta get me some moderators for real, because I got goofies. I got goofies in my. I definitely got goofies in my comment section. So I gotta get me some moderators. 100%, I gotta do that. So definitely got to get some moderators in here. What up?
What's good, Chill?
What up?
How you feel about the Chris Middleton signing?
I like it. I do. I like it.
It might be casual to say, but I feel like I don't really like it at all.
Why not?
No, I feel like he done. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like he probably only got like 1, maybe 2 years left, and I feel like Giannis gonna be going after that.
Giannis ain't going nowhere. Giannis just signed that contract. Giannis under contract for, I think, 2 more years. Yeah, two more years after this season coming up. I think Giannis is under contract, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think Giannis is going anywhere. And this move to sign Middleton, this move to bring back Brook Lopez, this is a win now scenario. This isn't a scenario where, this is, you're trying to set up for the future. No, we trying to win the NBA championship again, twice in 4 years. Yeah. We trying to win it again. So, I mean, Giannis comes off the books after next season. I'm sorry, in 2 years. So the 24-25 season, after the 24-25 season. So he under contract for 2 more years. He ain't going nowhere. Right? He's not going anywhere. So I think that I think the good thing about him is that you definitely got him under contract. So I think that's good. I think I lost him.
What's up, Chill? How's everything?
What up?
You ready for Thursday?
Are you?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm asking
right.
you. You know all those years?
You're the one challenging me. Why are you asking me if I'm ready? You got to do your homework. There's a reason why you challenge me. I'm not challenging you.
All right.
You got to do your homework, not me.
It's going to be fun. I had a star bench cut for you. All right. So, Scottie Pippen, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy.
Starting Scottie Pippen, benching James Worthy, cutting Neek.
Ooh, all right. You think if you put Neek in that Lakers team, he could do what Worthy did, or not really?
In the words of Doc Rivers, the difference between James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins is James Worthy had Magic Johnson, and Dominique Wilkins had me. That's what Doc Rivers said.
That's true.
So there you have it.
Thank you, Chill. Great seeing you.
Yes, sir. Good to see you,
I'll
brother.
see you Thursday, man.
Yes, sir. Start, bench, cut. Zion, Ja, or Anthony Edwards. So your best ability is your availability. So I'm starting Anthony Edwards. I'm benching Ja, and I'm cutting Zion. I've only gotten in the 4 years I've gotten 119 games. I'm good on that, man. I'm straight. I've only gotten 119 games. That's not going to get it done. No, I can't. As good as you are, I can't depend on you. And your best ability is your availability. And if you're not available, I don't care what kind of talent you are. If you're not available, what difference do it make how good you are? And I'm a big time Zion guy. I think that if I could get 5 years of health, give me 5-6 years of health. We talking about Zion as the face of the league. If I could get 5 or 6 years of health from him. Problem is that I can't get 1 season of health from him. There's your problem right there. I can't get 1 season. So what up?
What up, OG?
What up?
What up? I'm a Celtic fan, so what do you think about our offseason moves and all that stuff? Like, what do you think about us moving Marcus Smart? Because they're originally supposed to be Brogdon. And then Clippers backed out of the deal because of Malcolm Brogdon injury concerns. But Malcolm Brogdon been hurt. You know what I'm saying? He had a torn ligament, and like he just, you know what I'm saying, got hurt or whatever. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm gonna miss Marcus Smart. You know what I'm saying? Longer tenure Celtic. He's been with us for 9 years. He's the heart and soul of our team. I can't remember that the last person I seen with that mentality on my team was Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart, I believe he was shooting over 37% from the 3 in the playoff, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and then you know what I'm saying, like, bro, like that, he's like the first guard that I've seen that really could go out there and block fives. I'm not saying he can lock him up full time, but he can hold his own. You know?
Right. Did I lose him? I think I lost him. I had him and he froze up. See if I can get him back. See if I could get him back. He froze up. See if I could get him back. I gotta. Would Wilt or Hakeem be better today? Lajuan would be fantastic today. So would Wilt. Wilt's ability to rebound, Wilt's ability to speed the game up. I think that Wilt would be fantastic today. But I am one of these people, and I get a little bit. I'm a little biased when it comes to stuff like that. But I will tell you this: if Hakeem Olajuwon is on the board and you pass, you are fired. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm a big time Wilt Chamberlain fan, big time. But if Hakeem Olajuwon is on the board and you pass, you are fired, 100%. So,
my bad, OG. Yeah. So, what do you think? Since we've been like having an up and down year, what do we need to do to get better?
Well, I think you did get better. I think losing Marcus Smart, don't get me wrong. I think you traded one thing for something else. So losing Marcus Smart and losing that locker room presence. Marcus Smart was converted, by the way, from a 2-guard to the lead guard. Because Marcus Smart played the lead guard in college, and he was playing the 2-guard in college, and he started playing the lead guard when he came to the pros. To get KP, this guy now gives you that post presence that you didn't have. Not only does he give you that post presence that you didn't have, now we could preserve Horford and Williams because you got a 3 big rotation. So Horford doesn't have to play as much. Williams doesn't have to play as much. KP doesn't really have to play as much. So you can preserve these guys where you can rotate them in the right way. Now, if I'm gonna go with KP, now I got a guy that can score on the post. Now when teams play zone, I got a guy that I can put in the middle of the zone. I don't love Jason Tatum as my primary ball handler. I'm asking. I'm calling up Minnesota and I'm asking for Mike Conley. To be honest with you, I think they would hand him right over because this team. I think this team is ready to win right now. Not only is this team ready to win right now, this team is full of adults. So I need another adult on the crew. And if I called up Minnesota, if I called up Minnesota and said, "Yo, how much for Mike Conley?" I think they would hand him over. I don't think he'd cost much. I really don't. I would love to have Mike Conley on the crew because I think he's steady enough. Because I don't think you need elite play at the lead guard. I think you just need a guard that's solid defensively, that's going to take care of the basketball, that can knock down an open shot, who's also an adult like Mike Conley. And then you leave guys like Jaylen Brown, you leave guys like Tatum, you leave guys like KP, you leave guys like that down the stretch. Now, when you're talking about Brogdon, these are the most games that Brogdon has played in his career this past season since his rook season.
He played like 67 games.
Yeah, he's always hurt, right? So this is the most games he's played. So you might have gotten everything that you're going to get out of Malcolm Brogdon. So if you could move on from him, I would entertain it. But if you can't, I would preserve him as much as I possibly can.
I've seen a report from the Clippers. I don't want nobody from the Clippers. I'm straight.
Because all I'm doing is I'm getting rid of one problem and adding another one.
Right. They're gonna try to do Norman Powell or something like that, or Nicholas Batum or Marcus Morris. I'm straight.
No, I'm good.
But
I'm good.
I just think Grant is a restricted free agent, so I just think we should resign Grant and then just pick up a guard, and then I'm straight.
Yeah, and you could go over the cap for Grant because Grant is homegrown, so you ain't got to worry about this. You ain't got to worry about the luxury tax. We're dealing with a guy like that because you own his bird rights. So that's a good thing. Yep, you own his bird rights, so that works.
Right,
no doubt. All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
Appreciate you, OG.
Yes, sir. I just want to put something on your mind really quickly because I know this may sound ridiculous to you guys, but I know that Mike Conley, the logic that Mike Conley is washed. Just so you know, OG, OzG, just so you know, Mike Conley had his best assist to turnover ratio this season in his career. So the idea that he's washed, yeah, I'm not ready to do that just yet. But I will tell you that he had his best assist to turnover ratio this year. He played almost 70 games this season. So I kind of want to chill out on the Mike Conley is washed logic because I don't know about that. I still think he's got some. I still think he's got some good years left in him. 1, maybe 2 years left. So I'm not ready to. I'm not ready to completely just jump off the ship with Mike Conley. Nah, I ain't doing that. So I think it's interesting, right? I think it's really interesting to see how this whole thing is materializing. I do. I think it's really interesting. So my man Sports PSP came with another. Is T.O. your favorite wide receiver? Actually, that would be Jerry Rice. There's a difference between the best and my favorite, but in this particular situation, my favorite is actually the best. And Jerry Rice was my favorite, and he's the best. And T.O. is in second. I was a huge T.O. fan when he was with the 49ers. 100%. I was a big time Terrell Owens fan when he was with the 49ers. One of the best separation wide receivers, one of the most physical wide receivers. His hands could have been a little bit better, but he was a big play wide receiver. Punished smaller defenders. Not only did he punish smaller defenders, but he also made big plays against bigger defenders. So, yeah, I was a big time T.O. fan. 100% I was. What up, Leaf?
I'm gonna make one thing real clear, man. Listen, even though you and Bobby, y'all tried to troll me the other day, man, on the Dame situation going on, and the title of your video is what I had in my mind all along. Dame has no leverage.
He doesn't.
He didn't have no leverage before he asked for the trade, and he don't have no leverage now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, you know what this remind me of, Chill? This remind me of last year when two other individuals that was out here in my city tried to ask for a trade. You remember that?
I do remember that.
You do remember that?
And I asked, and I asked the question. I was on my other social media platform, and I had asked the question: does Marks have the nuts to tell these dudes to sit down and I'm not trading you?
Well, he had the nuts up until the trade deadline, because that's when everybody started to raise the value and raise the market. The problem was the market got deaded the second that the Rudy Gobert trade happened. You remember how much of a standstill it was after that, and after the Donovan Mitchell trade when he went to the Cavs, Utah pretty much shut down the trade market all the way up until the trade deadline. Right. The only move that was probably made was Rui Hachimura to the Lakers. That was it. So my thing is like, yo, why is Dame? I'm like thinking Dame that said all of this. Ticket jumped in the stream last night on Bobby's late show. And he pretty much was saying everything I was thinking. I'm like, yo, here was Dame was saying all of this, talking about he want to make it work with young guys and this, that, and the third. He's okay with what Portland was doing. Then now he's changing his mind. It seemed like he's talking out both sides of his mouth to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is one of the things and everybody keeps saying, yo, Leaf, man, why you so hard? I've been on Dame, bro, because I'm so hard on these players, because it's a disconnect between who they portray and who they actually are in 1 second, and who they portray the next. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, who are you? What's your character?
Here's the problem though, Leaf. The problem, kind of like with KD, they want you to love them unconditionally, but they do stuff that's they know is wow, right?
It's
they
suspect.
Yeah, they know it's wow, but they still want you to dig them also. And like a guy like Damian Lillard is going to end up in whatever city he ends up in, and I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear what Kevin Garnett said when he was in Boston. If I knew then what I know now, I would have been left Portland. I would have been gone a long time ago. Don't be surprised if you hear that.
I won't be surprised.
Do not be surprised if you hear that.
Here's the thing about Kevin Garnett saying that. Kevin Garnett saying that means that the second he got traded, what happened was basically an anomaly. You know, and right when he got traded, boom, title contenders, we won the whole thing. Straight like that. It's no other time where that happened, except for Moses Malone when he went to Philly, and who else? Clyde Drexler when he went to Houston.
But that was in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and that was in the middle of the season, and they got trades for them. Or if you want to add Rasheed Wallace to the Pistons, if you want to add Marcus Gasol to the Toronto Raptors, if you want to do that, if you want to make them type of exchanges on it, but it's this. Very few. These are anomalies. You know what I'm saying?
But them crews. But like for example, when Kevin Garnett got on Boston, that unit was they was already building stuff, and KG didn't want to go there in the beginning because remember Minnesota was better than Boston before they make the Ray Allen deal.
Right.
You know, but and he had a no trade clause in his contract. So he had a no trade clause in his contract. So he wasn't really keen on going to Boston. Yo, we better than them right now. When they got Rondo and they got Paul Pierce, I think they was at 24 wins or something like that. I mean, Minnesota was better than them. So
Minnesota had like 29
wins. When you talking about Detroit already had that unit together. Ben Wallace was already there. Rip was already there. Chauncey was already there. Tayshaun Prince. These dudes was already there when they added
Rasheed.
When they added Rasheed. Same thing with Drex. They already had Olajuwon, Kenny Smith. These dudes was already there. Now, when you get in with KG, he's completely different in the aspect that they was building that unit with him involved. Like it wasn't like he jumped on that unit and they already had it together.
Off-season to prepare and everything. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. And what I'm getting at is, me and you both agreed. It's crazy, like we starting to agree with a lot of stuff. I don't know how I feel about that, but me and you agreed.
I don't know how I feel about that neither, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you claiming that. Yeah, you claiming that I added years to your life somehow. But yeah, whatever. I don't know how I felt about that neither. That was to sneak this.
Most, to be honest with you though, most villains think alike though. if you, I know that we don't agree on everything, but a lot of villains. A lot of villains think alike, yo. And
I'm not a villain.
There's
a teacher.
There's a part of you that has that villain in you, and I can appreciate it. Yeah, I can.
No. I think. Listen, I think we all can grow from these damn same lully ass mistakes that we keep making, and I see the same teams making that in free agency. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but to add to the Dame portion of this. We was both saying there's no way he can go where he's winning a title. We know that. He knows that. He knows he don't have no leverage. So this whole waiting for we getting scooped at the draft. They told you how many weeks ago they was getting scooped in the draft. You knew that.
That wasn't news. That was not news.
Yeah, that was not news. The thing is, Brandon Miller tried his hardest to get out of Charlotte, and that didn't work.
Right.
So the thing is like, yo, you knew all of this. And you're talking about making it work with the young guys being around. I'm like, yo, who are you?
And a lot of this stuff is other people talking on behalf of him. I don't really think this is him talking because this is an image thing too, Leaf. You got to remember that. Like, we got to protect his image. Remember, there's a reason why everybody loved Jordan in the 90s, because Jordan had a really good publicist. We didn't really know who Jordan really was. So a lot of this stuff is people talking for these other people. We saw what the Portland Trail Blazers did for Dame after they lost in the Western Conference Championship in 18-19. That was when they had an opportunity to upgrade their crew. What did they do? Nothing. What did the rest of the Western Conference do? The Lakers got better. Memphis got better. Denver got better. All these other teams got better. What did Portland do? There's a reason why Dame had to score 60 in order for them to make the playoffs. There's a reason why Dame had to do everything that he was doing in order for them to make the playoffs. Because they wasn't getting better.
Here's the thing: if we're gonna use that logic, can we use the same logic for Jimmy Butler in Miami, trusting 7 undrafted players to go get the job done and helping him? It's either you trust these dudes or you don't. You don't gotta go get 60. You putting it in your mind you gotta go get 60 because you already got it in your mind that these dudes ain't as good enough. Well, you ain't giving them a chance.
I think he did it 3 times that year.
He did it 3 times. I think in the bubble in the year after 2019 when they was in
the bubble year. I think that season. I think he scored 63 times.
Yeah. I think, in my personal opinion, and I could be out of bounds for this, I think he's more concerned with Dame time than he is with winning time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's more concerned with you can't say all of this stuff and then take max deals and talk about I ain't got nobody. You taking every max contract they offer, every 200 mil, every 100 mil that they offer, and then you running around talking about, oh, yo, you didn't have it, yo, I did all.
You taking all the money. You the one taking all the money.
He's talking out of both sides of my mouth, or out of his mouth.
You want to take all the money.
My question is to Dame, and I ain't looking at the screen. I got some going. Listen. My question to Dame, if you're listening, who are you? Who are you, man? Do you know who you are? I think that's a good question. Now, I wanted to get to the free agency thing a little bit. It seems to me like it's some teams repeating the same history that they did some years ago. Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and who else they got? Landell. This seemed a lot like Omar Ashik and Jeremy Lin to me back when they signed them. This seemed a lot like Omar Ashik and Jeremy Lin back to me. Right before
like 2013.
Before they got Harden.
2015.
And they didn't even know they was gonna get Harden.
Yeah, like 2014. Yeah, like right after he right after he left. Right after he left the Knicks.
He left the Knicks, and then then they got Harden. And then to start the season or whatever, but they didn't know they was gonna get hard. But it seemed a lot. It seems to me that teams is like making the same type of directions with these deals in the offseason that they went before. I'm seeing what was it? I'm seeing Houston do what they did. Indiana, I'm not too mad at that. I'm out like the 250 something mil from for Halliburton. I'm not. Right. I wasn't too mad at that, man. That's your franchise guy. That's gonna be a league guard for years. That's cool. Who was in? Let's speak on my situation. The damn Nets. What the hell did we get rid of Joe Harris for just to sign a dude Cam Johnson for 4 years, $100 million. What
He
do
the
we do?
future. Now, hang on, Leaf, because that's why you got him. That's why you got Mikal Bridges. That's why you got your draft picks back, because these dudes are the future. So Cam Johnson, there's a reason why they stepped off of. There's a reason why he stepped off of who am I thinking? Jay Crowder. There's a reason why Phoenix stepped off Jay Crowder, because they really dug Cam. He got hurt though. So if he doesn't get hurt, you see a different Cam. And the reason why they traded him, it's pretty hard to say no to Kevin Durant for a second year guy. So they had to come off of him. All right. So they ended up having to come off of him, plus Mikal Bridges. So now rebuilding this unit around Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Now you got to get a lead guard. Now I'll tell you what I'll tell you who the lead guard isn't. I'm not feeling Damian Lillard in Brooklyn. I'm not feeling Damian Lillard in Brooklyn, simply because I look at the dynamic of what they have and what you're going to have to give up. There's no way that you're going to get Damian Lillard in Brooklyn and you're going to hold on to Nick Claxton or you're going to hold on to Mikal Bridges. They're not handing him over to Portland for a bucket of extra crispy and a six-pack. Not happening. It's not. And because you're going to have to give up so much, right? Because you're going to have to give up as much as you're going to have to give up, that means that this crew that you got is going to be completely different. Completely different. I think I lost him. Yeah, I lost him. See if I could get him back. Hang on for a second. I got a super chat. Love the game. He says, is it fair for people to rank Kawhi on-ball defense so high and the degree of difficulty over Scotty's defense? I sent that super chat on PC 2 days ago. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think that Kawhi Leonard is a better defensive player than Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen was a better on-ball defender. I think Scottie Pippen's hands were busier. I think he was livelier. I'll be right with you, Leaf. I think Scottie Pippen's his hands were busier. I think his feet moved better. I think he was a better athlete. I think he was a better rim protector. I think he was a better full court defender. I think he slowed down. I think he slowed down teams' offenses way more than other guys did, including Kawhi Leonard. When people bring up Kawhi Leonard being the defensive player of the year, I always revert back to who he was going up against in order to win the defensive player of the year. So he's going up against Draymond Green, Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gobert, who I think Rudy Gobert is an all-time great. I think Rudy Gobert is an all-time great. I think Rudy Gobert is an all-time great defender. But these are the dudes that he going up against in order to win the defensive player of the year. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen is coming in second and third place to David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon and Dennis Rodman, right? Mutombo, guys like that. These are the guys that he's coming in second and third place to. So I have a difficult time with that. Real difficult time with that. So hang on for a second. What up?
Man.
My man.
Man, I hear you here cooking tonight, homie. Dame ain't getting no pass, bro. He ain't. No pass. And the reason why he can't get a pass, Chilltown, we're gonna cook on this tomorrow too. All that talking he was doing, he wasn't good enough to get it done. See, we can talk about your teammates all the time, but when you constantly came up short when in the big moments, you can't point your finger at nobody else, especially when you was taking all them big contracts. So not only is you getting all the bucks, but when the playoffs came, you wasn't getting the job done. Portland has had a great history and has been a very good franchise, even though they had the championships to back it up. They've been a very good franchise since the Clyde Drexler days, even before then. So they've always had teams who competed. They had a great team when Dame got drafted in the league. Before Dame came, they was trying to do the right thing. They've always drafted well. This is fact. Portland has always drafted well. The only thing they messed up on was probably Jordan throughout their whole entire tenure. But they've always drafted well. It's not our fault that Greg Oden fell off. We didn't see Greg Oden. We didn't think Greg Oden was going to be like that. We didn't think Brandon Roy was going to end up getting hurt like that. So everybody keeps talking about Portland didn't do their job. That's cap. This is Dame Lillard. You're supposed to be a superstar of the highest order. So now what happens in the biggest series? He always gets shut down, getting beat by a series by Steph Curry when Curry played one game, getting swept by the Warriors without KD, getting swept by the Pelicans with and having CJ play you. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You sit over here talking about your teammates. You never wanted them to trade CJ. But how you supposed to get assets if you ain't gonna move CJ, but then you the one ain't getting the job done? enough of this cap. Then you're gonna sit around here and call other dudes chumps and all these other dudes something for ducking the grind. Now you know how much I am about this situation, Chill, about dudes, sticking it out and fighting on. Now, if I just all of a sudden do a 180, and everybody gonna call me cap, but nobody wants to call Dame that. Nobody wants to call Dame out for throwing shots at LeBron James and them for what happened with Russ over there in LA. Talking about, the grass ain't greener. Look what they did over in LA. Look what they did to Russ. They got him over there. He a Hall of Famer.
He did say that.
And then you taking shots at KD. Say you'll never do what KD did, which is go to a team like the Warriors and stuff like that with stacking the deck. You say you never play with super teams. And then you criticize Paul George, say he switching teams, ducking the grind. But from what I remember, Chilltown, Paul George asked to be traded to a sorry Lakers team before LeBron and them even came over there. Paul George, he didn't go to an OKC team with KD on it. So he wasn't getting traded to no super team or to no team that went to the finals 2 times in 4 years or was damn near in the finals 3 times in the last 4 years. Dame Dollar wants to be traded to the Miami Heat. If he gets moved to the Heat, Chilltown, that's a super team. If they put him, Bam, and Jimmy together. Bam and Jimmy are perennial all-stars, perennial all-NBA players, and perennial all-defensive players in their prime right now. Just came off the NBA Finals appearance. If you add Dame to that, who is a perennial all-star and a superstar, dead in the middle of his prime, coming off his best statistical season right now, they are a super team. They're the same thing LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh was. LeBron hadn't won no chip before he went over to Miami. Neither has Damian Lillard. But guess what? D-Wade had already been to the finals. So has Jimmy Butler been to the finals twice. Now, the difference was D-Wade won the chip, but guess what? The numbers line up because Bam is a 20 and 10 guy and one of the top 5 to 10 big men in the league right now. These is facts. He probably is number 5, but he's top 5 big men in the league. These is facts.
Right.
So when you look at Jimmy Butler, he's one of the top 2 guards in the NBA. These is facts.
Right.
So how is you putting Dame, who's probably fringe top 10 player, in there with 2 other top 20 players and say that's not a super team? These dudes be lying on YouTube, bro, and they make me sick, bro. Dame Lillard went against everything he talked about, Chilltown. Everything. And Chill, I wouldn't have a problem if Dame wanted out. I have a problem when you disrespect dudes like LeBron, when you disrespect dudes like KD, when you disrespect dudes like Paul George for switching teams and doing all this other stuff, and then you say you was never going to do that, and then you turn around and you go crack under the pressure and do the same thing you criticize these dudes for doing. That's bull.
And now, with that being said, Ticket, you made some really great points, right? With that being said, the narrative on Dame is he doesn't want to go to a super team. And the reason why he doesn't want to go to a super team is because exactly what you just said. He's afraid of the narrative. But he created that.
But see, that's the thing. They're trying to make it seem like that's not a super team. How is that not a super team when their 2 best guys is constantly in the Final Four of the NBA Finals? Tell me any other team whose top 2 guys could be in the NBA Finals 2 out of 4 years, almost 3. If Jimmy Butler hits that 3, he's in the Finals 3 out of 4 years.
Right.
That means they're one of the best. That means the Miami Heat right now are one of the best teams in the NBA because they're always in the Final Four. That puts him as one of the best. He ain't going to a middle pack team.
That is a fact, Ticket. But the talent is the talent there. It's more of one guy as opposed to it's a collection of guys with the Miami Heat. Like nobody really considers even though everything that you just said, nobody really considers the Miami Heat to be a super team. Ain't nobody really looking at. Ain't nobody Bam like that.
Is Bam a 20 and 10 guy? Hold on. Is Bam a 20 and 10 guy?
I think Bam was 20 and 10.
Bam is a 20 and 10 guy.
He was 20 and 10 this season. However,
hold on. In the season before, he was 19 and 10. So he's a 20 and 10 guy. Chris Bosh was too. Bam and Chris Bosh had the same amount of all-star teams they had before LeBron linked up with him.
So your logic is if we're gonna have this. So your logic is if we're gonna have this energy for LeBron James, if we're gonna have this energy for KD, we gotta have the same energy for a dude that's asking to go to that too.
Hold on.
We gotta have the same. That's your logic.
We say Dame is a superstar. So we say KD, LeBron, all these dudes are superstars. If LeBron was to go team up, if LeBron James, I want you to think about this, Chilltown. And this is why I'm being hard on Dame. Because he got to get the same heat too. Because he's under that superstar. He want to be under that superstar bracket, but he don't want that superstar heat. See, I'm going to tell you something. So if LeBron James or KD went to that team, super team automatically, everybody would be saying. Because Jimmy and them just went to the finals, and everybody, can't nobody deny that Jimmy, bro. You right now think Jimmy's a top 10 to 15 player in the league.
I think
you think Bam right now is a top 20 to 25 player in the league.
I do think that.
You think Dame is a fringe top 10 player in the league. How is that not a super team in their prime? All 3 of them in their prime.
I think they're right there.
That's a super team. And listen, they're in the finals.
And you make a really interesting point, Ticket, because unfortunately I cannot disagree with you on this. With the stance that you're giving me, that he's jumping on the super team. Initially, my thought process is nobody thinks that the Miami Heat are a super team because they got all those rotation guys, because they got all those young guys, because they got all those, because they got because they got all those undrafted guys. However, if I'm seeing the Miami Heat, who was just in the NBA Finals this season that just passed, if they was just in the NBA Finals this year, if Kevin Durant jumped on that unit, the logic would be Kevin Durant is chasing the ring. He's trying to get on the super team. If James jumped on that crew, y'all would be roasting James.
Hey, listen.
He would get roasted for this.
Especially if LeBron hadn't won a chip yet. Oh, what you think they would have did to LeBron if he would have went to that team right after they went to the finals? If he hadn't won a chip yet, bro. And listen, all we've given Dame is pass after pass because he's been in a small city. He had flown under the radar of year after year playoff failures. Everybody talking about his team. No, I'm looking at him. What did he do? He was supposed to be the difference. See, this is the difference between being superstars and stars. When you're a superstar, you're supposed to be the difference. Dame wasn't. A man shooting 17% in one series, 26% from the 23% from the three, 30% from the field. Come on, man. All these series he's losing. This man playing like garbage, and we giving him passes every single time.
So can we just accept the fact, Ticket? And I can't believe that I'm saying this, but unfortunately, sometimes these dudes that we have as superstars, you just didn't get it done.
That's why time out. That's why I be telling y'all, even though Jimmy folded it and we play like he played, he better than all them niggas because we seen Jimmy do more with less. You can't tell me Dame Dollar ain't had more talent all these years. Bro, listen, even after they was losing, they were still winning 50, 52, 53 games in the West. They were still coming up second and third in the West. And listen, they went and got him Norman Powell after Norman Powell won the chip over there with Toronto. They went and got him shooting in Gary Trent Jr., who was shooting 40% from the three. Norman Powell was averaging 19 points a game. Then they went and got you. Not every team in the NBA can say they got a solid big man that's give you a double-double. Nurk was giving them 15 and 10. Then you had Enes Kanter off the bench giving you 10 and 10. So you had a backup big man, starting big man that was giving you 15 and 10. You had a co-star in CJ McCollum that could take anybody off the dribble, get his own bucket, giving you 20 plus a night. You're averaging 28 to 30 points every year. Then you had all these little rotation plays. They had good 3-and-D guys. Al Farouk, whatever his name is. That dude was averaging 16, 17 points. Think about this, bro. If you go look at Portland, go look at all the rosters Portland's put together since the days of Bill Walton, bro. Portland have
always been good. They've always been good.
And people try to make it seem like they're a bull job organization. No, they're not. The problem is Dame has been hurt or came up short all these times. See, we can talk about everybody else, Chilltown, but we got to look at what Dame did. What did Dame do? Listen, Dame got owned by Curry every time. He was getting swept. Chilltown. They didn't win one game against the Pelicans, bro. Chilltown. They got rolled. Chilltown. They got rolled by the Nuggets without Jamal Murray, bro. Come on, man.
He did go for 56 in one of those games.
I don't give a damn. They got rolled by without Jamal Murray.
Even if that's true. If I'm not mistaken, Ticket, since you brought that up in the 18-19 season, that was Dame's best opportunity. That was the best that the Portland Trail. I think they finished third in the West that year. I think they
opportunity. Chill. Hold on.
But hold on. When they played in the 18-19 season, when they went to the West Finals, that was probably the best team that he's been on.
Chill. That wasn't the year they played the Pelicans. Bro, they were picked to beat the Pelicans. They were the number 3 seed.
They got bounced in the first round because Anthony Davis was too much. He was too much. But don't get me wrong. They got swept. They got swept out the playoffs. Drew Holiday dominated Damian Lillard in that series.
Come on, bro.
Now, Damian Lillard will tell you, he'll say that he got blitzed. Even if you did get blitzed, Drew Holiday even if you did get blitzed, Drew Holiday averaged 25 a game in that series.
All the great ones do, Chill. And Chill. When have Dame been known to play D, Chill? When have Dame been known to step it up on defense? Never. He never been a dude that gave you nothing but scoring. That's it. Cut it out, man. We're going to stop capping for this dude. Only reason why I was off the grid on Dame Chilltown is because he wasn't trying to form super teams and he was doing what he said he was going to try and do. And he said he didn't care about all this stuff. He said he hated the ring culture and all this other stuff. Now he don't and this is my problem. You criticize everybody else for doing it, then you go do it. after you rip all these other dudes. You taking shots at the Lakers and everything that happened with Russ saying the grass ain't green on the other side. Now think about this, Chilltown. Miami don't been to the finals 2 out of the last 4 years, almost 3. If he goes over there, right, and they don't even come close to that, he's done. He's done. He's done. Because now what you have done is you put yourself in a situation where you went to a team that came from the NBA finals. You go over there, you're supposed to deliver the goods and get them over the hump.
And if
that's now see, that's the stupidity of guys like Dame Lillard. Because now, guess what's going to happen, Chilltown? If he don't play well with the Heat, guess what? Now, all these dudes that's capping in the comment section for Dame and saying he deserved to go, now they're going to start bringing up all them series he was playing like trash before when he was in Portland. And now it's going to be magnified because now he's going to be on the level where everybody going to start pointing that stuff out. I'm telling you, bro.
Now, remember, too, Ticket. Now, remember this, too, Ticket. Remember that he got outplayed every time he went up against Steph Curry. And anybody that says that him and Steph Curry, because I heard this garbage years ago, and I'm a big Damian Lillard fan. But the logic that, if you took Damian Lillard off Portland and put him on the Golden State Warriors, they'll be doing the same thing. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
I used to think that until I really hold on, listen. Until I really went back, listen. But until I really went back and looked at the video, at the tape, I seen it. He doesn't have the intangibles, bro. Dame, he has moments where he's been clutch in the regular season. He's had a couple moments in the postseason, one series against Russ and whatever that he's been. Other than that, he's been horrible, bro. A dude of that level to been that bad in the playoffs that many times to duck all that smoke, man. Come on, bro.
We can't discount that he did come up big. He got them out the first round of the playoffs for the first time in 14 years when he hit that shot against Houston. Because in I think that was his 3rd year in the league when he did that. Then did it again against Oklahoma City. That was in 18-19. He did not play well in that Denver series. Even though he did average, I think, 25 a game, he did not play well in that series. CJ actually saved him. He outplayed Jamal Murray. They didn't have their guns either.
They didn't have none of their guns either. I mean, they didn't have their main gun. They didn't have Jamal Murray. And you still got beat.
They did in 18. I believe it was in 18-19. They did have Jamal Murray, and CJ outplayed him that year. But the next year, and I just literally had this conversation. When you're talking about a dude who in the 1920 season, when it got transferred over into the bubble, Ticket, you know this dude had 3 60-point games that year? 3 of them. Why the hell I got to score this much?
Yep.
Why the hell do I have to do this much in order for us to win? Don't get me wrong. If you are the guy, don't get me wrong, Ticket. Don't get me wrong, Ticket. If you are the man, you are the difference. Because I've seen James, I've seen Jordan, I've seen Olajuwon, I've seen all of these Jabbar, I've seen all of these guys be the difference. But when you get into the playoffs, and we getting deep into the playoffs, and we need you. We don't need this dude or this dude. We need you. Finish it. And you don't deliver. What does that tell me about you? Maybe you just ain't that dude. And it's okay if you're not that.
Bro, I heard you cooking on something extra hot. That's what made me come in here. When you was talking about how he going to Philly, man, you right, bro. Bro, this dude ain't been able. Listen, Chilltown. He hasn't been able to deliver the goods. Now y'all think he's supposed to be going to these places and being the hero and the savior, man. Y'all better, man. Listen, if Miami Heat think Dame Lillard is supposed to go over there after everything y'all seen from this dude and be the savior. After you ain't never seen him save nothing when it got deep in the playoffs, when it got real. We seen him have early round success. But I'm going to tell you something, Chilltown. He's setting himself up for failure because when you go to a team that's been to the finals 2 out of 4 years, almost went 3, if they don't at least go back to the finals with Dame or win the chip, they don't at least go there and he get him over the hump.
They're going to blame it on him.
I promise you this. The same way they built Dame up and made it seem like, they're wrong.
Blame it on him.
Everything, man. Listen, Portland has been a great organization. They have always drafted great. They drafted great again this year. If you go through their whole history, they've drafted great all this time. They took all the picks you're supposed to take. That ain't their fault if a dude got hurt. It wasn't their fault Greg Oden got hurt. It wasn't their fault Brandon Roy got hurt. Because if them 2 dudes never got hurt, then Portland, they probably are already a contender, a championship contender. They had already built one. So, I mean, it's just that those 2 dudes got hurt, so it derailed them. And then Dame comes in, and guess what? Dame and went to the second round together. Him and the big fella. And guess what? And then Dame want to start. And guess what happened that series? Dame played like trash against the Spurs. He played like absolute doo-doo. But don't nobody want to call this stuff out.
I called it
Dame
out
played like trash.
years ago when he was playing, when everybody was talking about Damian Lillard is this, and like I said, I'm a big Damian Lillard fan. When they lost me when they were talking about Damian Lillard and Steph Curry in the same category. I was like, whoa.
But that's because of threes, though, Chill. That's because but I don't look at the game like that, Ticket. I don't look at the game like a dude who could just shoot the long ball. I look at the game like when the bets get higher, where are you? What are you about? When the bets get higher and more chips get pushed to the front of the table, this is where we see who got the nuts for it. This is where we see who got the stones for it. And we see which dudes bowl up their cards and lead the tables. Ticket, let me tell you something, brother. It's a lot easier to bet $100 at this blackjack table as opposed to going over to the $10,000 blackjack table. We see who really got the nuts to do it. And you had nerve. He shot down LeBron when LeBron wanted to come over to the Lakers. Said, "Nah, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to join no super team. Do this, do that." You know what I'm saying? He shot down LeBron and then was talking about how they did Russ and all that other stuff. They talked that dirt. Him and CJ was talking crazy about KD. And when KD went to the Warriors, they said they would never go to a super team. They would never leave and try to form and play with all-stars and those type of team full of stars just to try to win. All these was quotes they said. So my whole thing with Dame is, and the reason why I'm so upset with him is, bro, you went against everything you said you was about. Bro, keep going. Keep going. At least when LeBron and at least when KG and them left, you didn't hear them talking like that. You didn't hear them talking like, "Oh, I don't."
KG didn't even want to go to Boston. They had to convince KG to go to Boston.
You know what I'm saying? But you never even heard LeBron saying, "I'll never do this. I'll never do that."
Right.
And then criticizing other dudes. This dude criticizing other dudes in the NBA. Now Paul George is on his helmet now, because now guess what? You talked all that shit to Paul George. Now Paul George is looking at you like, now what? Since you can't run in your mouth, now you dealing with the same thing I was dealing with, but you trying to go to a team that went to the finals.
Are we looking at this? Are we looking at this whole thing? Now that I think about it, Ticket, are we looking at this whole thing all wrong? Like, yo, they didn't really do enough to put enough pieces around Damian Lillard. Is it that? All I'm saying, Ticket. This is my logic. What I'm asking the question is, did they not do enough, or is just Damian Lillard just wasn't good enough, or he just wasn't good enough to do it?
Chill. What can you do? I want you to think about this. He didn't want him to trade CJ all those years, and then he said he was still upset they traded CJ. So you didn't want him to trade CJ, who was your biggest asset, even though you was the one that was playing bad in the playoffs, right? They made the moves he wanted them to make. They went and got They traded for Jeremy Grant like he wanted. He praised that move. Know what I'm saying? 3-and-D wing guy, all this other stuff, right? He never wanted to come off Nurk because him and Nurk was best friends. So he never wanted to come off Big Nurk all those years. He was rocking with Nurk. Him and Nurk been best of friends, right? Then you think about all the players. They got him a backup center in Enes Kanter that was giving you a double-double. Enes Kanter was coming off the bench giving you a double-double. How many teams in the league can say they got a big man that's a 7-footer coming off the bench giving you a double-double? And the production Enes Kanter was giving you rebounding-wise and scoring-wise in the post. Then you had three-point shooters around you. You had Gary Trent Jr., who was averaging almost 16 points, shooting 40 from the three. That year, Melo was shooting 40 from the three. Then you had defensive wings around you. You had when they traded Gary Trent Jr., they traded him when they felt like it wasn't enough to go get you NBA championship experience and Norman Powell. Norman Powell came over there getting buckets. Norman Powell came over there averaging 19 a game, Chilltown. What is he talking about?
Robbie Covington was on that crew too.
Come on, bro. 3-and-D wings, all that stuff, bro. What is they talking about? This superstar didn't handle his business, man. These is facts. See, all these dudes, they think that if the team don't got 4 or 5 superstars with you to do this, then they ain't doing their job. No, bro.
That's why I had a problem when I immediately heard these goofies in the comments talking to me about Dame in Philadelphia. And I'm like, wait a minute. What about the 33-11 guy that's the league MVP on the crew? Why do you need to get Dame over here? What's Dame need to come over here for? You had a 20-10 guy on the crew. And you got the league MVP on the crew. You got Maxey, who's 20 a game. Not only do you have Maxey as 20 a game, you got Tobias Harris. I think he's like 17 or 18 a game. What the hell we need Damian Lillard for?
And his game don't even fit Joel Embiid's game because the way he played, he's a dude that's gonna come put it up. Joel Embiid is a guy who wants to rock. See, him and James Harden just went through that. Harden wanted the ball more. Harden wanted to be more involved in the offense more. Bro, Dame ain't getting no chance for me, man.
Take it. What up? Yo, take it. You might remember this. The year that they got Nurkic right from Denver, didn't he save their season? If I'm not mistaken,
he did, bro. Listen, everybody don't, bro. They trying to shit on they trying to take a dump on Portland like this is a horrible franchise, bro. Think about this. Think about all the moves Portland made. Portland has drafted great all these years.
Don't worry about the language. We in the hood right now. Don't worry about it. We ain't on the panel.
They drafted Anthony Simons. Bro, think about what he turned out to be. They end up paying $100 million. Think about Anthony Simons 3 years after they drafted him. This dude turned out averaging almost 20 a game. They drafted all them dudes they drafted, even for Brandon Roy, even for
CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum sat on the bench for 3 years, and then he came in the start lineup.
They drafted CJ. Facts, bro. These dudes make you seem like they ain't doing nothing. They ain't making no moves. That's a lie, bro.
And check this out. Wasn't they supposed to get Joker instead of Nurkic that year? Did they got him?
Yep.
They did get Joker. They traded him for Nurkic.
They had
Joker.
They had Joker?
Yeah, they had. How you think Joker got to Denver? They had him first.
No. Oh, wait, no, because Joker was on the Denver roster at the same time with Nurkic, right?
Yeah, and they traded and they ended. No. Flip it around.
Wait. Hold on.
Joker was in Portland, and they chose Nurkic over Joker. That's how that went.
No. Denver drafted Joker, bro. Nurkic was the one that they drafted, and then they traded him on draft day, and then they traded him back, wasn't it?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Getting it mixed up. You're getting it mixed up because I'm 100% confident that Joker was on that Portland roster, and they chose Nurkic over Joker. That's the way that went.
Wait, because I know Denver had both Joker and Nurkic on the block, and they just needed one of them gone.
You're right. It was 17. It was in 17 at the end of the 16. In the middle of the 16-17 season, they end up trading. Right. They end up trading Nurkic. Both of them was on the roster, and they chose Joker over. They chose
Nurkic over Joker.
That's the way that works.
Yeah, because Nurkic was better at that time. You got to remember, Jokic was nowhere near where he's at now.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He came to the league. What I got to do though, Ticket, is I got to accept the fact that, and I don't have to accept it. I already know this.
Right.
I come from the era where the best players showed up when it mattered.
Thank you. Right. That's my whole situation, Chill.
The best players showed up when it mattered.
Right.
And what we didn't do, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but what we didn't do when the best players didn't perform, we didn't go, they didn't give them help.
That's facts. And Chilltown. Chilltown. That's what they doing. And Chill. That's the sad part about what they doing with Dame, bro. Hey, look, and here's the one thing I can always say, bro. You can say, bro, listen, that dude did not show up most of them series, bro. I can understand if Dame was out here putting up all these heroic numbers, balling his ass off, and the other dudes didn't show up. Bro, the other dudes was balling. Go look at the playoffs.
Are you on the subject?
They were shooting 50% from the three, 60 from the field. These dudes was balling. It was Dame, bro.
Take it. Why you on the subject, bro? What we was talking about yesterday with Bobby Stream. I known with the contention, bro. Like ever since listen, I got on Jimmy about the finals, bro. I called him Juwana man, everything under the book. Listen, but nowhere near did Jimmy have the drop-offs in the playoffs since he got to Miami that Dame had. It's nowhere near. Everything after the first round, you see, it's almost like the volume on your TV. It's like keep going down and down and down and down. It's like, wait, what? Hold up.
Don't get it twisted. Jimmy's production goes up in the playoffs. His production has went up. So even though he played bad in the finals, his overall production in the playoffs always go up. Dames, man, come on, bro. That shit look horrible, man. Come on.
And for everybody that's saying, he didn't have help, maybe he didn't believe in his players the way Jimmy believed in his players.
Man, come on, bro. They would have been saying, hold on, think about this. Ain't nobody was complaining about, and look, I was the only one maybe had said something about some of those other guys. You ain't never see dudes complaining about the players that Pat Riley had around Jimmy Butler this year.
Not one time. Not one time.
And look what Jimmy and them did with them guys. But they always complained about they didn't do enough for Dame. Man, get out of here. I can name all the players they had go through that Portland system that was playing with Dame. Because Dame was drafted, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Don't tell me it ain't.
Players, bro. I know a lot of Portland rosters, bro. Like I used to look at them, bro. Like, since Dame got there, us a lot of them Portland Waspers. You went from Wesley Matthews and Nicholas Batum all the way to Josh Hart.
Nick Batum was hold on. When Nick Batum was killing. Remember, he got a $100 million contract.
When Nick Batum was killing, he got a contract from the Hornets after he left. Wesley Matthews won a championship with Milwaukee. Like, so my thing is like, yo, who's like my question to Dame, if you're watching this, yo, bro, who are you? Who are you, bro? That's what I want to know, bro. D, what up, man?
I apologize.
What's up with you, man? What's going on, man?
He'll say he was.
Going on, bro? Like, listen, you already know how I feel about this Dame situation, bro. Like, I don't listen. I done said 100,000 times.
So what's the indoor beat? Like, what are we like? What's the? Are we saying Dame is not as good of a player as people say he is? Like, what are we saying about Dame?
We saying Dame was comfortable being a big fish in a little pond over in Portland, and that's the thing he was content with. Now that he's staring down like, oh, I ain't got no championship, and Portland is quote unquote moving on without me, with Scoot Henderson being drafted this year. Even though they drafted the best player, we knew they was going to draft him. He knew they was going to draft him. My thing is like, Dame is speaking out of both sides of his mouth. How all of something out of nowhere, you knew this was happening, and now now this whole trade request. Listen, Chilltown tried to get me to believe that this is imagery and this is PR people or whatever, like the case may be. Me personally, I'm just like, the fact that this news came out.
Coming from Dame. It ain't coming from Dame, Leaf. Because why would he say about Paul George, about Russell Westbrook, and then turn around and you hear, well, he's not really sure that he wants to go to a super team because he's worried about the narrative. Well, which one is it? I'll tell you which one it is. The reason why it's like that is because he's worried about what y'all saying about him because of what he already said. That's
right. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, he had a change of heart. He realized
that's all it
what
is.
was going to be said after he retired. He was going to be he was going to be a Charles Barkley. He was going to be talked about like he wasn't that dude for real.
Even though Damian Lillard was damn good in the playoffs, when he was damn good in the playoffs, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. Except when he ran up on Steph Curry. When he ran up on Steph Curry, forget about it. Right? When he ran up on Steph Curry,
so he was a first round playoff performer.
Yeah, whenever he ran up on Steph Curry, and he had some playoff stinkers in 2017 when they got swept out the playoffs by New Orleans. That was that was definitely a stinker, right? But with that being said, he had a point in his career now where, yo, you've probably seen the best of Damian Lillard, and I wasn't good enough to get it done. Not me. Now, I felt like after that 18-19 season when they lost in the West Finals, that roster could have been upgraded, but Dame had to play better because we can't take away from the fact that after that first round, when he completely destroyed Russ, he wasn't very good after that. He was not very good. When they played against Denver, he was pedestrian. When they played, he completely got outplayed by Steph Curry, and it's not even close. Right. Steph averaged almost 36 a game in that 30. I think he averaged almost a double-double in that series.
Almost a double-double in that series. Yeah,
I think he averaged almost a double-double in that series. He completely outplayed him. So, with that being said, I've seen Damian Lillard do well in the playoffs, but when the bets got higher, he folded. And maybe I think he's coming to the conclusion that because I'm not that dude, this is what they're going to say about me. But then, if I jump on this crew and we end up winning it, are they going to say this about me still? Even though I won the NBA championship and I still was great, like I was an All-NBA performer. I made the All-Star team a couple of times. I did all of that stuff. What are they going to say about me? I'll tell you what they're not going to say about you, my man. They ain't going to say that you're great if you get your ass on one of them crews. Like if you get your ass in Miami and y'all end up not making the finals after they went to the NBA finals the year before with you. Oh, absolutely, they're gonna blame it all on you.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna blame it on me.
It's all gonna be blamed on you.
And I think you need to change the title of this video to, "Yo, Dame, who are you?" That's my question to him.
I know who he is.
But we know who Dame is though.
We know who he is. Leaf. He's going through a transition. Leaf. That's the problem. You think that he's talking. The reason why you hear the reason why you hearing two different sides of this because he's in a transition in his career. Like you wouldn't have heard this from him you ain't hear this from him in the bubble. Yo, I ain't come down here to just play. I came down here to win. You heard that from him 4 years ago in the bubble. Now we in a place. Now we in a place.
Here's the one thing I got to give LeBron credit for, and the one thing that he did wrong. You wait to the last minute to try to put pressure on the team like you should have been put years ago. If you really was serious, why you ain't do this years ago? Like put all this pressure on him. Why you try to wait to the last minute and say, if y'all don't do this now, bro, you know that wasn't gonna happen, bro.
Exactly.
So everyone here agrees that like if he doesn't win in Miami, it's gonna hurt him more than him winning.
Yeah, he done. Because now they're gonna magnify all the times he lost in Portland because of him, and they're gonna watch. They're gonna do it.
Take it a step further than that. What is he going down to Miami for?
Win a chip.
And if they don't, and if they don't, what's gonna be the narrative?
He a failure.
That's it. That's the only reason why he's going down there.
So my thing is like he knew, and this is the thing that he tried to avoid all along, because he already knew the narrative years ago. He knew the narrative 5 years ago. He knew the narrative when he came in the league. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, he continuously tried to move himself away from that, but he thumbed his nose at the other guys too. That like Ticker was talking about, bro. Like he thumbed his nose at the PGs of the world, at the LeBrons of the world. He thumbed his nose, thinking that he couldn't be in that same situation, and we all knew that he was going to be. But the thing is, outside of championships, Portland did have some bad luck, but they built some pretty damn good rosters all over the years, bro. And this goes back all the way to
was they pretty good rosters, Leaf, or was they championship rosters? You know it's a difference.
How many teams? Hold on. How many teams? How many teams can you just say were the Dallas Mavs won a championship roster the year that Dirk won? He elevated his game, nigga. It's a lot of teams that you look at that you could say, man, this might not be a championship roster, but that player elevated his game.
I didn't think
it's teams that LeBron got to the finals that wasn't no championship. Hold on. It's teams LeBron got to the finals wasn't no championship roster. Bro, the Miami Heat wasn't no championship roster this past season. They really wasn't no championship roster, bro. But
here's the thing, D. What I'm trying to say is they had a lot of bad luck in terms of winning a championship. If you go look at the setbacks that they had over the history, Chilltown touched on this a couple of weeks ago. Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge was 62 and 10. What was their record? Like 52 and 10 when they played together.
Like 13 when they was together.
Yeah, 52 and 13 when they played together. If that ain't championship material, I don't know what is. That's the thing. So my thing is like Portland has built some pretty competitive championship looking rosters. And a lot better.
If you're talking about regular season wins, though, I could easily say this Miami Heat team that just made the finals. They was an 8 seed, so that regular seed, that don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. But D, what I'm trying to get at is when you seen Greg Oden go number 1, you was thinking what was you thinking at that time? You was thinking, yo, this team. I thought
I saw Patrick Ewing 2.0.
Yeah, you was thinking, this team might could come out of the West, man. Like they got a future. Then you add on Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge with that. You thinking to yourself, oh man. And then you got Dame coming in with LaMarcus Aldridge in that roster. You thinking, damn, they pretty good. They lose LaMarcus Aldridge, and they leap higher. They get to the number 3 seed and get walked down by AD, Drew, and Rondo. And then you wait, hold on, something ain't right here. How did they do that? What happened?
When we say drop off, like Dame dropped off in the playoffs, are we talking James Harden drop off in the playoffs? What are we talking? Are we talking?
So what we talking about? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Leaf.
I don't know. Hold on, I'm answering your question, D. I don't know necessarily we talking about James Harden drop off, because James Harden, we talking about all-time league offensive changing game numbers. Like when he was putting up 36 off of Euros and step backs before while Steph was winning a unanimous MVP with just 30 and 30 minutes. This is a dude that him and Russ basically was jumping off the stat sheet. You know what I'm saying? After 2016, 2017, all those years. and then as opposed to dropping down like he did, that's a drop. But
Leaf, no. You letting him off the hook with that. That's nonsense right there. Because when we watched Damian Lillard get completely outplayed in 17 by Drew Holiday, number one, and then number two, just like James Harden, who fell off the cliff in 17 against San Antonio, Dame Lillard did the same thing in 19 in the Western Conference semifinals and in the Western Conference finals. So we seeing the same thing.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I know. I was gonna get to that point, bro. I wasn't finished, but if we're talking on that scale, then obviously yes, because Dame sees himself as a superstar. We see him as a superstar, and you look at the seasons that he had. He was averaging 30. Then look at after 2019, he put up 60 like 3 or 4 times in that season going into the bubble or coming out of the bubble and whatever, and then coming out of there having another 30, 40-point games, 50-point games. He dropped 71 this past year. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, maybe it's not the fact that Dame need to drop this, that, and the third. Maybe do what Jimmy did. Give me your teammates some shine. You got teammates. You had Gary Trent. You had you still had Simons. You had CJ. Let them do something. Let them do something. You do the other things. But he never did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's to me, it's about the other things that you do. Like Dame has proven that he could go for 50 or 60. But what else has he proven outside of that? That's my question.
5-point guard in the league. Like, I don't want us to start talking about Dame. Like, if he wherever he get traded, I don't want us to start talking about Dame like he not that dude. Like, he's still not a top 5-point guard in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's top
I don't
3.
want to like
the playoffs define you. Hold on.
He's top 3.
The playoffs define where you ultimately rank that. Your playoff performances. See, look, if we don't rank guys like Dominique as high as we should based off playoff success. Because if Dominique had more playoff success, man, his ranking would be out of this world. But guys who had more success in the playoffs, we ranked them higher. That were great players. Hold on, that were great players. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Same thing with Carmelo. We don't rate Carmelo as high as we should as a player because of his not having that success in the postseason. So when we look at Dame, when you constantly have series where you come out short, like they were picked to win that series. They were the number 3 seed in the West that year, and they got smoked by the Pelicans, bro. Smoked. They were supposed to win that, right?
You don't think team success?
Let me ask you,
you don't think team success is a matter of playoff success?
No, but I'm saying you got to look at how the main guy's playing. Dame was playing like shit, shooting 17% against the Spurs, 23% from the 3 against the guy daggone Nuggets, shooting got daggone 20-something% from the 3 against the Pelicans. Come on, man, cut it out.
Hey, one more thing, bro.
Like,
no, my bad, D. One more thing, why is Dame really that good of a playmaker to y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is he based on what? What's that based on?
I think you just thinking about playmaking in terms of passing. I mean, Damian Lillard has had.
I'm not talking about in terms of passing. I'm talking about getting the guys just getting guys involved in. All right, you got this matchup with him or.
Yeah, he's had 8 games. He's had 8 assists. He's had 8 assist seasons. He's had 7 assist seasons. He's definitely had stuff like that. 30 and 8, 26 and 7. He's had seasons like that. Now, right. I think about playmaking in a different aspect. I think about playmaking in not just you passing the basketball. I think about playmaking, going in there and beating up on big guys, getting to the stripe, and now getting your best big off the floor, and now your second best big is on the floor, and now I'm making plays for my big, who's my first best big, still on the floor, because now your big got to come off the floor. I'm making plays, breaking down the defense, where now your lead guard got to come and help, and we getting him into foul trouble. So now I'm making more plays for you. I think about that as playmaking, stuff like that. I don't just think about playmaking as just a guy passing the ball to another guy. How are you getting these guys involved in the offense? I think Damian Lillard has shown he can be elite at that, but I also think that in big moments he's faulted. Yeah, that's where it's gotten tricky. And in the Western Conference Championship in 2019, That was the most glaring, which said to me when after watching him in the Western Conference Championship against the Golden State Warriors, I'm thinking to myself, maybe he ain't good enough. That's all I was thinking. Maybe he ain't good enough.
Do you think him playing with Jimmy Butler is going to elevate his playoff success, like his translations of how he performs? Because if he has a dude like Jimmy Butler next to him, like they're supposed to make each other better.
Nah, because that takes away from everybody else now. Because now, what the Heat would have killed you, what was what all the other guys would help, what Jimmy was facilitating to help do. Now with Dame's going to be expected to take that thing by the thorn. So that deactivates all those other guys. See what I'm saying? So the guys you would have come in that's supposed to be doing all these little small things. Now with Dame out there, you expecting Dame to be carrying the heaviest load.
Why we can't expect Dame to fit into the system? Like why we just expecting that
he couldn't fit into the system when it was him and LaMarcus Aldridge, nigga.
Right. LaMarcus Aldridge, that's a totally different system than what he'll be running in Miami.
Yeah, because with the Miami, he has a better coach, and then he's gonna be running around with Bam and also.
We talking about dribble handoffs with Dame instead of Duncan Robinson. What you mean? Like it's a totally different look. We talking about Dame in the dribble handoff instead of Duncan Robinson.
Here's the thing though. It's his performances though. Is what we're talking about. His performances.
I understand that.
He has Jimmy Butler with him now.
I know I came in with a point because this is what I'm trying to get to understanding. So like, so if Dame goes to Miami, lose, we're gonna dock him for it because he left Portland. But if he stays in Portland, he don't want to win. He's a loser. We dock him for it. So you telling me he's in a loser? So what?
No, I didn't say dock him for it. Hold on. I never said you dock him for staying in Portland. I never said that. I praised him for staying. Hold on.
Right.
I praised him for staying in Portland because I'm like, bro, you gave everything his heart and soul to the city. So now you preach something to hold. See, y'all gotta understand what the problem with Dame is. This nigga ran around pointing his finger at everybody else, telling them why they shouldn't do something. Then he went and did it.
I agree with you on that. 100%.
That's my biggest issue with him. So and then here's a problem with Dame. Now you're putting yourself in the bullseye because, like me and Chill said, if he don't go over there and deliver the goods, if they don't, bro, they are going to annihilate him.
I agree. So it's only because of he was talking too much smack, not because he just stayed in Portland. Okay, I can respect that point. Then.
No. But not only that, we talking about if he doesn't go get it done with Miami, because Miami been in the finals 2 out of 4 years. It could have been 3 out of 4 years. Yeah. So if he goes over there and doesn't get it done with a coach like Eastbo and he's supposed to be a superstar, stuff like this, they're going to annihilate his career and say he wasn't that good enough. They're going to tear him down. They're going to say he wasn't on that level. He wasn't ready for this big time. He was a big fish in a small pond. All this narrative is going to be pushed on him now. And it's all
it's different when you in a situation where like you in Portland, so your bad games don't really get spotlighted. But now you're in a situation where you got to win and play hard. That's why it's hard to play for like the Lakers, the Celtics, or play with like somebody like on LeBron, where they magnify everything that you do. Because but I think if the Heat do this, because this will be agreed on when we was talking on PC about at least Pat Riley finally doing something. Because I said Pat Riley haven't done nothing for Jimmy Butler since he got there. So now it's like,
hold on, but Chill Town said something else. It's not a guarantee he go over there, but I'm gonna say this to you too, right? We talking about he gonna have to sell out on defense too in Miami, and that's something Dame has never done. Is play deep.
Yeah, and he's gonna play off ball too now because he haven't played off ball at all. He's got to play off ball more, and I think Spo can put him in those schemes where he did Tyler Hero, and even with some of the Duncan Robinson says with the handoffs or get him in spots in position to get better shots and not have the ball in his hand the whole time too.
Why you think this trade hasn't gone? Why you think this thing hasn't happened yet? You know why this thing hasn't happened yet? Because Riles ain't feeling it. That's why. He looking at Jimmy Butler and he looking at Bam and he thinking we got enough. Finish it. That's what he's thinking.
I think Portland's just trying to find a third team because I think Miami doesn't really have anything beneficial to give to Portland unless they do a 3-team trade.
I think you can get
because Dame has no leverage, so they could basically trade him anywhere he wants.
Bro, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a wild card. I'm gonna tell y'all a wild card that can come in here and shake this whole thing up. Nobody said nothing. The Pelicans. Pelicans could reunite Dame and CJ.
Here we go, Ticket. Here we go with
the West. Hold on, they got the picks. Hold on, they got the pick, and they got Ingram. If
Utah too, Ticket.
If I'm Portland, I'm taking that deal if they put him up.
Utah too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think they trade him to the West. And then do you really, with the new CBA, do you really want to put that massive contract on your roster and then have the guy be unhappy that the whole time?
It's too late. That's what it's going to be anyway.
In New Orleans, yes, because you don't have a choice because they're a small market. I'm taking a shot with him because he said he wouldn't play with Zion. So I'm taking a shot putting him back with CJ. That would put him, CJ, and Zion fat ass on the same team. And then they got other role players on that team too. They got real good role players on that Pelicans team. But I want to get the picks back.
If you could keep Zion and Herb Jones, I like it.
Well, we seen this story already with Dame and CJ. It ain't getting it done. So why would they repeat the same?
But not with a guy like Zion.
It is a different team.
Not with a guy like Zion Williamson. That's a game changer.
Is he gonna play?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. If he's on the court, that's a game changer.
Yeah, if you're on the court, it's a different story. But I see it gotta be. Is it gonna be Heat? I don't think Portland gonna send them to the West. I think it's either gonna go Heat, Nets, or maybe low key Philly, and they just do a.
They're gonna send them wherever they get the best deal from.
Yeah, they're trying to do a 3-way trade to get like.
You got to remember, they're not counting on being good right now, so they ain't really tripping off team right now.
I think Dame waited too late too, though. Honestly, I think he waited too late.
The trade that I heard that I'm really intrigued about. Ticket, I'll give you Colin Sexton, I'll give you THT, and I'll give you who else am I thinking? And Kelly O, and I'll give you 6 ones and 2 pick swaps for Dame.
That's for Utah.
1st-round picks. Oh my goodness.
6 first-round picks.
Portland should do that in a heartbeat.
I mean, if I'm Portland, I'm saying yes. Utah. I don't see why Utah would do that. OG.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I'm Portland, I'm doing it.
And then you gotta remember who running the team, Mr. Finesse man himself. If he's not getting the better end of the deal, he ain't doing it.
But those reports saying that Ben Simmons might go to Portland and like Tyler Hero goes to Nets and they get picks.
Man, I don't care about.
Also, y'all can't sleep on
Ben Simmons.
Well, I don't think Brooklyn can do it now, but I would have looked at them as a team, and the Knicks too. I still wouldn't sleep on the Knicks. They sneak.
You like that Jalen Brunson and Dame backcourt ticket?
No, they tried.
The Knicks got all them draft picks, and they got RJ Barrett you can give up.
No, I'm saying, but say if you do the trade picks, RJ. Say if you do picks, RJ Grams. But I'm saying, do you like that backcourt of Dame and Brunson together? Though? I don't know. That's
in the Garden. Hell yeah. In the Garden, hell yeah.
Both of them don't play no defense now. You know they gonna be.
Hold on, they do play D. Hold on, that's a lie. They do play D over there in New York.
You know who the head coach is in New York?
I know him very. I know him very well. I know him very well.
The hell are we talking about?
I know him very well.
How about Toronto for Scotty Barnes?
No, but I still just think Dame waited.
Hold on, you want Dame to retire tomorrow, don't you?
That's what he sound like. That's what he sound like he's saying.
Yeah, I think if Dame was going, if Dame was going to get traded, he should have asked for this trade before the draft, as soon as offseason ended, when everything was up in the air and the picks are more valuable.
Why we keep saying he should have asked for it, SB? He already saw what it was, so it's not like
why he waited.
And not why you keep saying why he waited. Portland knew what they was doing too. Portland knew that they was taking Scoot. Not only did they know that they was taking Scoot, they knew that Scoot and Simons is the future of this crew. Damian Lillard is going into year 12. You done seen everything that you're going to see from him, yo.
Yeah.
Seen everything. So I'm good. I'm straight.
That's why I didn't understand it. I'm just like, all right, we just going to try to build around it. No, you're not. What you going to get with the 3rd pick? Ain't nobody available enough that's going to make that team a championship caliber team. Let Dame go. Because Dame don't want to have the narrative that he left. He wanted y'all to pull the trigger. Y'all got to pull the trigger as a franchise and just make it happen. So that's it.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, it's time for me to wrap this up.
All right, OG.
It was dope to see y'all tonight. What up?
I had a quick question for you.
What up?
Where do you have Kawhi ranked as a player? Do you think he's top 30?
If he's top 30, he's at the bottom of it.
No, like top 30, like 25 through 30 range.
That's what I'm talking about. He's at the bottom of that. Maybe top 35. But if he is top 30, he's at the bottom of top 30.
Yeah, because his playoff stats from 2019 to currently is 30-9-5 on 63% true shooting. Like his playoff rising is on a high level.
And since you brought up his numbers, can you tell us how many games he's been available since 2019 in the playoffs?
Not a lot.
Well, 2020 he played. 2019 he played. 2021 he got hurt in the second round against the Jazz, and then 2023 he only played like 2-3 games.
Don't leave out 2022 where he didn't play at all.
No, yeah, that's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, don't leave out that. That's important to mention that part.
Because I sent the super chat the other day about the Kawhi and like his peak and defender. Like I think Scottie Pippen's a better defender. I think Kawhi is a better on-ball defender. But I think everything else on the defensive end, I think Scottie does better than him.
I don't think
Scottie. Last thing before I go. With that being said, is Kawhi Leonard the lowest ranked most of the conference guy, like with them Finals MVPs? I don't think he got an MVP. He ain't got an MVP, but DPOY type guys, all NBA type guys. Is he the lowest ranked one of those type of players? Because he has the accolades to be in the top 15, but obviously, you got to put context on why he's that far back. He might be the lowest ranked. Who else is that accomplished?
I think it's probably just because of his longevity, to be honest. But
yeah,
it depends how much you
really. Defensive player of the year,
Finals
MVPs. Yeah, but his availability, he might. To be honest with you, instead of putting him in the all-time greats, he might be a bigger what if than an all-time great.
Yeah, and that's crazy to say.
That's crazy. He might be a bigger what if than an all-time great. Yep. That's who Kawhi Leonard is. Yeah.
All right, OJ.
All right, fellas. Good to see y'all tonight. Be easy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's good to see y'all tonight. I had some people pop in that I was not expecting, but they showed up, and that's dope. So it was some good content. I will see you dudes really soon. I will be on the panel tomorrow, 11 o'clock. You know where to find me. I will be back tomorrow. We'll see you dudes soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.